Audio test. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That's it, Cooper. Thanks.
Okay. Let's see here. Good evening. Today is Monday, March 10th, 2025. It is now 6:00 p.m. and this meeting is now open. Representing the quorum tonight are Mr. Doug James, Ms. Denise Morrison, Mr. Dustin Qualls, Ms. Kathy Arlano, Ms. Nicole Peters, Mr. Chris Todd, and myself, Rob Ellis. Thank you for joining us this evening. As provided by the Texas Government Code, the Board of Trustees may go into closed session at any time in accordance with sections 551071, private consultation with board's attorney regarding all matters authorized by law, including board governance, 551072, discussing purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, 551074, discussing employment, evaluation, or discipline of personnel, including board governance, and superintendent evaluation and contract, including central office administration. 551076, discussing security personnel and devices, district-wide intruder detection audit report findings. 551082, discussing disciplinary matters or complaints regarding school children and/or school district employees. 551081, discussing personally identifiable information about public school students. And everyone's favorite, 551087, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations. Board of Trustees hears public comment on both agenda and non-agenda items at all regular meetings in accordance with Texas Government Code, Section 551007, and local board policy. As communicated to each registered speaker in writing earlier today, each registered speaker has an allotted time of up to 2 minutes, and comments must not mention any individuals by name or position or contain any personally identifiable reference. Registered speakers must speak in order called. Speakers may not yield their time to other registered speakers. In order to keep our meetings efficient and safe, no registered speaker may approach the table. Each registered speaker should watch the time on the clock in front. Here with Mr. Qualls, it will notify you once your 2 minutes have expired. We thank our registered speakers that you acknowledged that you understood and agreed to follow these procedures by signing the public comment form when you registered to speak. Any individual who fails to adhere to this board policy will be stopped by the board's attorney and not allowed to continue speaking. Thank you all for joining us. We'll go ahead and turn the time over to Mr. Qualls. If you could call our first registered speaker.
Thank you, President Ellis. Our first registered speaker tonight is Mr. Kyle Cummins. Mr. Cummins, will you please approach the podium? I don't think Mr. Cummins is here currently. Would we move him to the end if he ends up showing it?
Towards the end.
All right. We will continue on. Our next registered speaker is Miss Nikki Kinchin. Miss Kinchin, will you please approach the podium? Miss Kinchin, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the clock whenever you begin.
Okay. I'm here today about continued unsolved matters. First, we have elected officials who do not respond to emails, censor the truth, and do not communicate. Why is that? In addition, I have proof that admin has been handpicking and reformatting the chair tryout results. I will not disclose the person due to retaliation fears. This information has been updated in my file, explains why Klein ISD is under federal investigation for Title IX athletics and denial of benefits. Now, why hasn't an internal investigation been ordered about the Klein-Cain sex trafficking situation and Klein-Collins adult intruder? What about an internal investigation at Epps Island? May God be with those families. Money still seems to be the big topic and all the blame on Austin. Austin is not 100% at fault for deficits. Why hasn't Klein ISD gotten its own house in order? And has abused spending from excessive salaries, soaring legal fees, and obsolete admin roles at central office created? Also, this has been an issue with the problems with removing the librarians. Super sad. Lastly, the exhausting grievance process. It is a fraud and it's deliberately designed to fail families and employees. It's a shame. It is an utter shame. Also, thank you to those who have visited the amazing health science department at Klein-Cain High School and signed up for a blood draw. Thank you. Those teachers and students deserve a ton of recognition. The amount of time and hours they're pouring into students is astounding. Great things are taking place in that department, and sometimes I feel that it gets forgotten about those are a lot of future doctors that are in that department. So thank you for those that have signed up and have gone to do that.
Thank you, Ms. Kinchin. Our next registered speaker is a Klein ISD student, Finley Nusman. Nusman. I apologize. Ms. Nusman, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Nusman, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the clock whenever you begin, okay?
Hola, me llamo Finley Nusman y he estudiado español en la escuela de Brill Elementary por 6 años. Gracias por tu disposición en considerar continuar con el programa de español en Club Intermedia y gracias por todo lo que hacen para apoyar la educación en Klein.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, Finley. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Natalie Pilkington. Ms. Pilkington, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Pilkington, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the clock whenever you begin.
Thank you. It's exciting to see a lot of people here, and I love the dual language program. I think that's fantastic and awesome. I know it's at my kid's school, and I wish I would have known about it when he was in kindergarten so I could have started him. So with that being said, sex trafficking case isn't going away. We still need answers because nothing has changed. Lots of talk today about DG, BA, and modifications. Why? It's not even followed. For example, when whistleblowers aren't protected and protocol is thrown out the window, Klein endangered more children by sitting back and waiting, blaming Harris County Sheriff's Office when children are at risk. Why are we waiting for HCSO? If this were the case, why weren't the lines of communication kept open between the departments, Klein ISD PD, and spearheading the conversation with HCSO? Why wasn't the administrative staff at the high school watching and paying attention to the sex trafficking teacher? Again, why wasn't proper paid leave of absence and investigation done by the ISD as per protocol? And the potential victims of Klein students could have been protected. You have access to interview and do everything at your power if you just follow your own rules. You already have access to the classrooms and others. I know dozens of teachers who've been put on paid leave for silly, trivial things compared to this. What I keep seeing over and over again is an inability to truly deal with the inaction, continuing child endangerment. I've heard the talk about having a law passed and making other agencies let the district know when investigations are going on. That isn't the answer. The district can't even keep children's records confidential and safe from being leaked to a school board candidate about another candidate. Both were non-staff. How will the district keep the investigation safe? You don't turn a blind eye to such a huge thing, huge claims. The high school noticed bruises on Jane Doe's arm and saw a disturbing pattern that's described in your own university.
Thank you, Ms. Pilkington. Mr. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Carrie Q. Ms. Q, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Q, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the clock whenever you begin.
Hi, my name is Carrie Q, and I'm a parent of 3 dual language students at Brill. Thanks to the teachers in this program, my children are learning so much about other cultures, all while reading, writing, and speaking a second language. The dual language program is such an amazing asset to our school district and our community. In the fall, my oldest will be starting 6th grade at Club, which currently has no Spanish option for 6th graders. Upon visiting with Central Office Administration and a school board member, a group of parents expressed concern regarding the length of absence of Spanish education our students will face, concerns regarding the future quality of the program, as well as other options to consider for middle school Spanish education. We were told that our concerns would be taken into consideration and discussed, and we would hear something mid-March. I was extremely pleased to learn on Friday, pending parent survey interest and budget, that there is in fact a plan for 6th grade dual language at our zone school. Just knowing that our group was acknowledged and our consideration taken into account is so refreshing. Initially, I signed up to speak to plead to the school board and administration to consider a dual language option for our zoned intermediate school, but since Friday's notification that there is a possible plan, I decided to change my pleading request to gratitude for listening. We are all very appreciative of the time the administrators took and efforts made to make our request a possibility. This clearly demonstrates the district's mission statement for each student, promise to purpose.
Thank you, Ms. Q. Mr. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is also a student, Mr. Simon Q. Mr. Q, will you please approach the podium? Mr. Q, you will have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the clock whenever you're ready to go.
Hola, mi nombre es Simón y yo estoy en quinto grado y yo voy a la escuela Abril. Gracias por darme la oportunidad de hablar, leer y escribir 2 idiomas. Yo empiezo este programa en kindergarten. Puede tener un crédito de escuela secundaria después de completar el examen de español esta primavera. Me gusta este programa y estoy feliz que otros estudiantes tengan esta oportunidad y la posibilidad de continuar en sexto grado. Gracias otra vez por esta gran oportunidad. Hi, my name is Simon and I'm in 5th grade at Brill Elementary. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk, read, and write in 2 languages. I started this program in kindergarten. I can have a high school credit after I complete the Spanish test this spring. I like this program and I'm happy for other students to have this opportunity and the chance to continue this in 6th grade. Thank you once again for this big opportunity.
Great job, Mr. Q. Thank you very much. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Priscilla Lashley. Ms. Lashley, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Lashley, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll start the clock whenever you begin.
Last month, I spoke on this exact same topic, failure of Klein ISD to provide sufficient supporting documentation for the community to review of any changes to policy that will be voted on. Now, one could argue that what you provide is sufficient, but do you really think the average person would know what DGBA, FNG, GF, and JKC mean at first glance? Beyond this, there is no proposed change of policy offered for the public to review ahead of time. Since this has been brought up on more than one occasion, there seems to be only 2 conclusions. Either there is not an understanding of the request for supporting documentation, or it's being left off intentionally. But why would y'all not want us to know what's being voted on ahead of time? Elected officials were in fact elected to hear the concerns of their constituents, particularly in cases when a remedy is so easily achieved. When Klein ISD touts transparency, that is not true. Taken directly from the Klein website, Klein ISD is committed to maintaining transparency across all operations, ensuring that our students, parents, staff, and the community members have access to relevant information and how the district operates. Not true. Klein ISD prioritizes open and honest communication with parents. Not true. I would ask that moving forward, our board actually provides proper supporting documents on policy changes so that we may have ample time to prepare any true concerns ahead of the board meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Lashley. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is a student, Gracia Rodriguez. Gracia, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Rodriguez, you will have 2 minutes, and I'll just start the clock whenever you're ready to go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Gracia Rodriguez Castillo, and my native language is Spanish. I sincerely appreciate how the dual program has educated me in English and Spanish. I strongly believe the dual program has helped the native speaker English kids to learn Spanish easily as they are in contact with native Spanish speaker like me on day-to-day basis. And for my case, it was easier to learn English as I was able to learn same concepts on English and Spanish. The last 5 years receiving education in both languages has helped me to make very good friends that I would like to continue with during middle school on a bilingual program. Continuing with the dual program on middle school will help us to reinforce what we have learned the last 5 years. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity for being part of the dual program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. President Ellis, our next registered speaker this evening is Mr. Justin Woolridge. Mr. Woolridge, will you please approach the podium? Mr. Woolridge, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll just begin the clock whenever you're ready to go.
Hello, I'll be talking tonight about the agenda item number 9 pertaining to FNG and DGBA. Considering that these two policies include over 60,000 active participants, all 53,000 plus students and 7,000 plus staff, I would say that these policies are of the utmost importance and should be considered. And you guys should hear some of the things that need to be considered when you're taking into consideration your vote for a modification, which would be the second time it's been amended since August of last year. Let's see here. With the magnitude of these policies and the people they can affect, why does the notice contain such little supporting documentation in the way of what modifications you are planning on voting on compared to other agenda items? Number 2, FNG is a student's and parents' last resource for recourse against the teacher, coach, admin, or district itself without having to spend thousands of dollars on lawyers. DGBA is an employee's last resource for recourse against coworkers, admin, or district without having to spend thousands of dollars on lawyers. Per Texas Open Meeting Act, the more important an agenda item is to the public, the more specific the notice should be. I would say the changes to FNG and DGBA are of the utmost importance considering how many people they affect, and as such, the agenda should be much more informative. The lack of information in the notice just screams foul play. The Klein ISD policy is very lengthy in nature, typically ranging from 70 to 110 days to get 2 minutes before you guys in a hearing officer's recommendation. When you compare this to other districts, Tomball, Conroe, Katy, Spring, Magnolia, the level 2 appeal automatically goes to the board in all of those surrounding neighboring districts. We're the only one that adds a level 3, which is an independent third party, which is actually a former Klein ISD employee or a friend of a Klein ISD official to hear and offer a recommendation to you guys. So I just think that more conversation needs to be had about it and thought process.
Thank you, Mr. Woolridge. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Jessica Coleman. Ms. Coleman, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Coleman, you'll have 2 minutes, and I'll start the clock whenever you're ready.
I signed up to speak today to make sure that it's noted on public record that there's a person in one of the many administrative roles at Klein Collins High School who sexually exploited a student with special needs by showing a video of the student as social entertainment. This individual has saved a video from the Klein Collins hallway security cameras on her personal cell phone. She has also distributed the video to others, as the first time I saw the video, it was from the person who is married to her cell phone. The video is of a special needs boy walking down the Klein Collins hallway, and as he passes the said member of the administration, the student grabs the member of the administration's breast. The member of the administration makes a funny face and laughs. This situation is obviously inappropriate, but what is even worse than the situation is the fact that this person and the person married to her have this video downloaded on their personal cell phones and use this act of a boy with special needs as social entertainment while passing their cell phones to others working for Klein ISD, other kids attending Klein Collins, and other adults making jokes of a retarded kid getting more action than the person married to the member of administration. I've personally been exposed to the video 3 times. I reported the video and the incident to multiple persons in authority at the school, in the district, and in politically governing areas of the district via email. I also have recorded voice conversations as I reported the incident to law enforcement in the district and HR personnel in the district. I've been bringing this situation to light for over a year, yet the person in administration is still employed by the district. I would like to know why this act of sexual exploitation has been swept under the rug and why this person is still employed and allowed to be with students in Klein ISD. Is this something you all condone? I look forward to a response from each of you.
Thank you, Ms. Coleman. I'm going to circle back and see if Mr. Kyle Cummins has by chance shown up. Take that as a no. President Ellis, that thus concludes tonight's public comments.
Thank you, Mr. Qualls. The trustees will now move into closed session under sections 551, 071, 072, 074, 076, 082, and 0821, and 551, 087. The time is now 6:20 p.m. The time is now 7:07 p.m. and this meeting of the Klein ISD Board of Trustees is reconvened. Thank you for joining us this evening. Tonight, Trustee Denise Morrison will lead us in prayer, and Trustee Nicole Peters. Actually, we have some scouts who will be assisting us with the pledges of allegiance. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, we gather here today with grateful hearts, seeking your wisdom and guidance as we convene this school board meeting. We thank you for the privilege to serve our community, our students, and their families. We ask for your presence to be with us, that we may conduct our discussions and decisions with integrity, fairness, and a true commitment to the well-being of our students. Grant us the wisdom to navigate the challenges we face, the courage to make difficult decisions, and the compassion to always consider the needs of our students and staff. We also lift up the students to you, asking for your protection and guidance in their educational journeys. May they find joy in learning, develop their unique talents, and grow into reasonable and compassionate individuals. Lastly, we seek your blessing on our community, that it may be a place where everyone feels valued. Guide our efforts to foster an environment of respect, understanding, and cooperation. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Those were the scouts from Troop 786. Thank you for being with us, and we'll recognize you later in the program. Good. We'd like to thank you all for joining us for tonight's meeting. Your presence here is incredibly meaningful to the board and to the students, educators, and community members that we'll be recognizing this evening. If you would please silence your cell phones at this time. Klein ISD is a family with a shared vision that every student in Klein ISD enters with a promise and exits with a purpose. The Board of Trustees does not take lightly the responsibility that our community has entrusted to us. We work diligently along with Klein ISD leadership on behalf of every student in our school family. Every regular meeting, including tonight's, is an opportunity for the trustees to conduct the district's business and to recognize the achievements of our Klein ISD family. The great work that happens here every day is something that we are proud to recognize and share with the community. We conduct our school board meetings in accordance with Texas law. So, for example, we cannot vote on any item that is not listed on the agenda, and we may not publicly discuss items that do not appear on the agenda. All of our voting must be in public, but we can privately discuss items regarding personnel, the discipline of students, the acquisition of school sites, matters of school safety and security, and specific items requiring legal advice. However, the final vote must be in complete view of the public. Please understand that this meeting is for the board to have discussion, to deliberate, and to take action. And we would ask you refrain from making comments or public demonstration to allow us to focus on the matters before us. The agenda and notice of meeting are distributed to each trustee 1 week in advance before our regular monthly meeting. If individual board members have questions, then we often would then call the superintendent prior to the meeting. Therefore, on many items that are recommended for approval, the trustees can quickly determine if they agree. If we seem to be moving quickly through the agenda, it's because we are prepared to make a decision without any further questions or discussions. Before we proceed with the agenda tonight, we also would like to take a moment to acknowledge Congressman Sylvester Turner, who passed away this last week. The congressman and former Texas House of Representatives and Houston mayor was also a member of our Klein ISD family, having graduated from Klein High School as the valedictorian in 1973. Congressman Turner never forgot his Klein ISD roots, and he will be greatly missed in Klein, Texas. We appreciate his dedication and support of our Klein ISD students, staff, and families over the years, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends and everyone who was touched by his leadership. Okay, with all of that, Dr. McGowan, we are ready to start with some reports.
Awesome. Thank you, President Ellis, and good evening, Klein family. We're so glad that you're joining us this evening, and just want to say thank you for acknowledging Congressman Turner. He was one of Klein's brightest, and the last time he was here with us in person was in 2020, where Trustee James was honoring him as a distinguished alum, and I remember him saying he came back home not for himself, but to express his gratitude for what this place had done for him. So he was marked by his gratitude and his service, and we'll remember him fondly. Our first report tonight is a strategic priority update on Cultivate talent, including information on board-adopted measures and indicators of success, including the employee satisfaction results and retention data, two of the many organizational and student outcome results the board regularly receives updates on. Dr. Bob Anderson, our Chief of Human Resources, is here to provide this report.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan, members of the board, and our Klein family. I'm honored to serve as the Chief of Human Resources, where it's our mission to recruit and retain the absolute top talent from all the area. This report is on employee satisfaction, centers on our board-adopted strategic priority of Cultivate talent. This priority of our commitment of the Klein ISD will listen, learn, and continuously improve to ensure our employees are fully supported and engaged, and to always work to ensure a culture of support, excellence, and a place where employees feel valued as members of our Klein family. This is going to feel like a broken record, but as you know, public school funding has not changed since 2019. This is especially problematic in a state which has a multi-billion-dollar surplus and historic inflationary pressures that impact every Texan, including those that work in Texas public schools. Nearly 90% of our annual budget goes to salaries to employ over 7,000 members of our Klein family. But as you know, we are thankful that despite the lack of state action, Klein ISD has a long history of conservative fiscal management that has allowed us to take care of our Klein family in these difficult times, providing needed pay raises to stay competitive with our market and to ensure we continue to have the absolute best educators in front of the children in our Klein family. We believe this support has played a significant role in the excellent metrics I'm about to share with you in a moment. For example, during a time of teacher shortages, you see them all across the news, I'm proud to say that Klein ISD began this school year with 99.5% of our positions filled and over 95% of our special education teaching staff filled. This is unheard of in this current market, and I'm so proud that to date we have maintained such a high percentage throughout this school year. Not only are we filling positions, but we have the absolute best educators in this school district. They continue to earn local, state, and national recognition that showcases why Klein ISD has earned the reputation of excellence in education. I'm proud to say that we continue to retain nearly 9 out of 10 campus teachers and total staff each year, and this includes those that go to a well-deserved retirement. Last Friday, we had an extremely exciting event in our Klein family. We had teacher signing day for 46 of our current teacher residents. They will now be new Klein ISD teachers. We had a great morning filled with lots of information that was capped off with our future teachers signing their letters of intent. Many of them were crying as they signed. It was a beautiful moment. It is important to note that Klein ISD has over 72 teacher residents, which according to our commissioner is the highest teacher residency program in the state of Texas. Additionally, we held our job fair this weekend at Klein High School with prospective employees visiting the principals from every school. We had over 1,200 register for this job fair, which was over a new record from last year. We only had 800, so big, and that was a record that year. So amazing for us in that. Recently, we have invited our employees to take the annual Klein ISD staff survey. We asked general questions to gather their feedback about their experience as members of the Klein family. To date, over 3,500 employees have completed the survey, which constitutes 83% from campus and 17% from district. To date, the campus members who completed the survey were 60% teachers, followed by paraprofessionals at 17%, and 23% make up the rest, which are specialists, counselors, administrators, and other positions on our campuses. I'm proud to say that once again we earned straight A's from our Klein family in several key areas. These include more than 9 out of 10 staff members saying that they understand and believe our shared vision, they receive information they need about important things involved in the district, and they agree that Klein ISD leadership lives by the values of this school district. When we specifically talk about campuses, more than 9 out of 10 teachers plan to return next year, which is amazing for our students and our schools. They say their school leaders are visible at their schools, and they say campus works together to achieve our shared vision. And looking at our district staff, More than 9 out of 10 district staff plan to return to Klein ISD next year. They say their department leaders are accessible. They say that their intermediate media supervisor cares about them and that the department works together to achieve our shared vision. As you can see, we've received straight A's again across the board from our Klein family, and we're very pleased with the work that we've done and how it's reflected in our staff engagement survey to date. Most of all, we are grateful to our Klein family for working together for the success of every student. This concludes the report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Mr. Dunn? I have a couple. For those that don't know, could you just briefly describe the teacher residency program?
Sure. So in the state of Texas now, the program where we're kind of a pipeline, so it's traditionally student teachers would be a 6-month program, and now they're signing up for a full year. And so they're there for a whole year, and they go through, they start in August and end in May, or they start in January and end in August. Or excuse me, in December. And so they go through student teaching for an entire year. So these folks are much more equipped to be in front of our students at the end of it because they spent a whole year in the profession. And so we knew right when this early kicked off, we partnered with Sam Houston State, we partnered with University of Houston downtown, Prairie View A&M, and we partner with University of Houston Clear Lake to ensure that we've got the best talent we can get. And so we started at a very small number at 10, and now they're well up to 72, which when we compare to our neighbors, Conroe has 15, Humble had 17, and Spring had 12. So you can see we far exceed the group, and we actually pay each of these folks in our family.
Paid, and what was the number of that signed contracts?
46, and the only reason it's not 72 is remember they're on 2 different programs.
Yeah.
So all 46 of them signed, and then we'll have more of them come December because they started just with us in January.
Yeah. Awesome. And then you said approximately 3,500 people had completed the survey. And the survey is anonymous?
It is, yes, sir. Completely anonymous.
And 83% of those are campus people?
Yes, sir.
And then you said of that, 60% of the people that had taken it were teachers. So does that mean 60% of the 83%?
60% of the 80%, yes, sir.
So almost 2,000 teachers. Roughly.
Yes, sir. Teachers make up half of our workforce.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your great work, Dr. Anderson. Dr. McGowan.
Yes. Tonight's final report is a 5th in a series of updates on the board-adopted legislative priorities for the 89th legislative session, which is now well underway in Austin. As the board knows, we have been connecting with our elected representatives to share our Klein ISD legislative priorities for this session, including our productive visit to the Capitol last week with Vice President James, trustees Kathy Arlano and trustee Nicole Peters, and our legislative captains, who I'll tell you more about in just a moment. For tonight's legislative report number 5, we'll provide an update to the board and to the public on our continued efforts to advance our board-adopted Klein ISD legislative priorities and secure the necessary funding to provide the high-quality education our students deserve as we ask our lawmakers to fund our schools first. Klein ISD's Chief of Police Marlon Reynolds and Chief Financial Officer Dan Schaefer are here to present this month's update. We'll begin the evening with details about budgets and funding, so at this time I'll turn it over to you, Dan.
All right, thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, trustees and Klein family. As a reminder from last month, we're showing again Senate Bill 1. This continues to move through the process. It is primarily for teacher compensation using both the teacher incentive allotment and a general increase. As always, we are grateful and support any additional pay for our hardworking teachers, and we'd like to see this expanded to include all members of our Klein family who contribute to the student success, along with providing some funding for inflation that Mr. Bob Anderson referred to just earlier. One of the things we wanted to highlight today is House Bill 2. This was filed over the last month, and it is a more comprehensive bill addressing various areas of school finance, including increases to the basic allotment, which is something we've been very much in support of, special education, another area that we've highlighted, along with other allotments, and a new adjustment for coastal areas to account for higher property and casualty insurance premiums. The total estimated benefit of this bill is $22 million, and this is based on what we know so far. There are some calculations that are pending, and so we feel this is the low end of the number, and so it should come in higher than the $22 million. So we're looking forward to receiving the actual runs from the state when they're available. Senate Bill 26 was also filed and is another area that looks like it's pass-through funding intended for experienced classroom teachers. And the next two slides are talking about the voucher programs that are being proposed. The Senate Bill 2 has no changes from what was presented last month, with the varying amounts listed here on this slide. The new one would be House Bill 3, which is related to vouchers as well. It has to do with looking at creating a voucher that would represent 85% of what a public school district receives per student. We continue to advocate for increased public education funding. As you're well aware and have already heard from Dr. Anderson, that the state has not increased the basic allotment for public schools since 2019. We've all felt it, historic inflation and a multi-billion-dollar surplus at the state level available. We need additional dollars to ensure we keep the top-notch talent that Mr. Anderson referred to, along with programs for Klein ISD that our community expects and our students deserve. So at this time, for more details on safety, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Reynolds.
Thank you, Dan. Last week, we spent time in Austin meeting with our state elected leaders and their staff to discuss Klein ISD's legislative priorities. As we spoke to them about our legislative priority of safety, we offered them a solution to a significant communication gap we've identified that potentially puts students in harm's way. We asked them to consider this. Police agencies must notify a school district when one of its students is arrested. However, would you believe that that same police agency is not required to inform the district when one of its employees is under investigation? As the board is well aware, last spring, Dr. McGowan and I sent a letter to our entire Klein community in response to an awful situation at one of our high schools. As we navigated that incident, we recognized that there was an apparent breakdown in interagency communication that demanded action. Our experience illustrated exactly how problematic it is that law enforcement agencies are not required to inform school districts when an employee is under investigation for a serious crime. As fellow Klein ISD parents, in light of this troubling reality, Dr. McGowan and I promised we will work with our board and our team to develop a solution to enhance the overall safety of our district, to protect our kids from bad actors like the one we had in our own backyard. So our team drafted the Providing Required Oversight Educators Conduct Transparency Act, PROTECT Act for short. This proposed legislation is part of our efforts to bridge this critical gap and keep Klein safe and every school district in the state of Texas safe. The PROTECT Act will mandate that law enforcement promptly and transparently notify the superintendent and the chief of police whenever a district employee is under investigation for certain criminal offenses. Armed with this information, we feel that our schools and many others in the state will be better equipped to act swiftly and protect students from potential harm. I thank Dr. McGowan for working with Representative Harless and getting our draft legislation into a bill that Representative Harless filed today. The PROTECT Act is now officially House Bill 4125. We are committed to continuing to advocate for House Bill 4125 and urging our lawmakers to enact this legislation. Our goal is straightforward: to address the oversight and ensure every student is safe from bad actors who wish to do them harm. As you know, trustees, this issue is important to us, and we will continue to work in partnership with you as we address it. The PROTECT Act is one of several direct responses as we continue working tirelessly to keep students' safety at the forefront of everything we do. And now, I'll turn it back over to Dr. McGowan to conclude this evening's report.
Before I wrap up the report, President Ellis, are there any questions for Mr. Schaefer or for Chief Reynolds?
We really appreciate the action. I know this is something that we as a board have been really focused on, and I think that this act is very important. And we are thankful to Representative Harless. We want to thank him for sponsoring the bill. And as a Klein ISD parent myself, I think it's something that all of us are parents or grandparents of kids in the district, and this is something that is a high priority. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think it deserves a hand.
Yeah. Also would like to thank Mr. James and Ms. Peters and Ms. Arlano for being willing and able to represent the board in Austin this last week, and we appreciate you all being able to do that for us. Dr. McGowan?
Yes. I want to also echo my gratitude to Dan and to Chief for all of your efforts, both on the school finance side, just making sure we can clearly articulate what the needs are for our students and our staff so we can take good care of our employees, so they can take good care of our kids, and so we can keep the programs and the people that make a positive impact in the lives of Klein ISD every day. And Chief, for your leadership, we couldn't be more proud to have you as our Chief of Police, and we appreciate you approaching every safety issue with the heart of a dad. That means a lot to all of us as a Klein ISD mom, so I appreciate you both. I also want to say a huge thank you to the legislative captains who joined us in Austin this past week. It was wonderful that this year during the legislative session we have engaged stakeholders from across Klein ISD. These are moms, dads, grandparents, taxpayers who are willing to take the day off of work and journey with us to Austin to advocate for our kids and for our staff and our Klein community. So I'm very appreciative of all of their efforts. I'm also just want to add my gratitude to Representative Harless for filing the PROTECT Act, now known as House Bill 4125. The safety of our students' bottom line is non-negotiable, and last year we did see firsthand how a communication gap in interagency communication put students at risk. So Chief and I, as fellow Klein ISD parents, promised we would do everything in our power to make sure that that never happened again in our own backyard or any other school district in the state of Texas. So I encourage everyone who's listening tonight, please lend your voice to how important it is that House Bill 4125 doesn't just stay a bill, but it actually becomes a law. We have so many incredible people that serve in Klein ISD every single day. None of those excellent, hardworking educators deserve to be painted with the brush of a bad actor, and so this is about taking this situation to the next level and ensuring it doesn't just happen here, but it doesn't happen anywhere in the state of Texas. I also want to make sure that everybody's aware that we continue to update our website that we've set up specifically for this legislative session. Please note the two arrows there. They help to make sure that you know that there are quick explanations to the bills that are being filed as they pertain to public education. The last day to file bills is this coming Friday, so after that, what has been filed is what we'll be working with throughout the legislative session. Also, there's an arrow there pointing on the website to where you can find all of your elected officials' contact information. We want to make this very easy for you to talk about things that are important to you, important to your children, and important to our Klein community, particularly asking our elected officials to fund our schools first. So that's all that I have to wrap up the report this evening. If there are any other questions from the trustees, we're happy to take those now.
Questions? Okay, I know you all came here to get budget data about the legislative session, but I'm sorry to say that that part's over, and we will move forward with tonight's recognitions of results and so many wonderful people we want to recognize. Dr. McGowan.
Yes. Our first recognition of results this evening is for Metzler Elementary, and it's my pleasure to welcome their proud principal, Danis Boone, who is going to recognize an outstanding educator at Metzler and 2 outstanding students.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, President Ellis and members of our school board and Klein family. It is my privilege to serve as the principal of Metzler Elementary. This evening, I'm proud to introduce you to 2 outstanding students and 1 phenomenal educator from our school who exemplify Metzler Elementary's tradition of high-quality teaching and learning. Tonight, we recognize Elena Darcera and Adam Sharara as our outstanding 5th grade students and music teacher Elizabeth Willis as our remarkable educator. Elena, Adam, and Miss Willis, would you please join me up front? And Klein family, please turn your attention to the large screens to watch a video recognizing our 3 phenomenal Metzler Elementary family members. Hi, I'm Danis Boone, the proud principal of Metzler Elementary, and I'm here to talk to you today about Miss Willis, our amazing music teacher. Miss Willis is an exceptional educator who fosters respect and belonging in every lesson and interaction. She goes beyond teaching music by creating a dynamic environment where students connect deeply with music from around the world. Through virtual field trips and interactive lessons, she explores the history, geography, and cultural context behind each piece, Ms. Willis exemplifies the compassion, innovation, and dedication we strive for in education. Thank you, Ms. Willis, for your contributions to our school, our students, and our community. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Hello, my name is Jose Buenrostro, and I have the privilege of teaching Elena math and science. From the very first day of school, I knew I can count on Elena to always give her best. She embodies the power of the paw in everything she does, and is a true example of what it means to be a Husky. She's not only dedicated and hardworking, but also kind and supportive to her peers, always willing to lend a helping hand. Elena's commitment to excellence and her caring nature makes her a standout student. I have no doubt that she will accomplish great things, and I am excited to watch her continue to grow and succeed. Congratulations, Elena. I know you're going to do great things. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you for being such an important and inspiring part of our Metzler School community. Congratulations again on this well-deserved recognition.
Hello, my name is Teresa Garcia, and I'm the English Language Arts teacher at Metzler Elementary School. Adam is a dedicated, driven student leader who consistently strives for excellence. He approaches challenges with a problem-solving mindset. His self-discipline allows him to tackle assignments with a goal of deep understanding. He values different cultures and perspectives, making connections between what he reads and the world around him. His commitment to serving others is evident as his we, not me mindset. Adam, congratulations on being a Promise to Purpose leader. You are a valued student.
Your curiosity shines both inside and outside the classroom. Adam, we are incredibly proud to see you recognized as an outstanding Metzler student. Elena, Adam, and Miss Willis, you are true inspirations and role models in our school, and I'm so proud and grateful to serve and work alongside you every day. Tonight, to help us honor Elena, we have her mom, Frances, her dad, Emil, her sister, Ariana, and her brother, Eli. Please stand to be recognized. Tonight, to help us honor Adam, we have his mom, Christine. Please stand to be recognized. Guests on behalf of Ms. Willis are her husband, Dutt Tripathi, and her uncle, Mr. John Willis. Please also stand to be recognized. Tonight, Klein ISD trustee, Mr. Chris Todd, will now present you with your certificates and this special recognition. Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, please join us for a picture.
Thank you. One of my favorite parts of this is to watch you guys watch those videos. I think we're in a world where oftentimes we don't hear a lot of good. It's so inspiring to see other people talk great about you. I have a little cheat sheet that I get to read that's even more great stuff about you, in addition to what we just heard. And Elena, when I was reading that, there were a couple of things that stuck out to me. One was that you always strive for excellence, and you have a great humility. Those are traits that will suit you so well as you grow up. Just continue to keep that humility, and you continue to keep that strive for excellence, and you will do great. And Adam, I wrote a couple of things down from my cheat sheet about you too. Things like kindness, that you're always so kind to everybody, no matter what, that you strive for excellence in everything that you do, and that you have an incredible attitude. And so I thank you so much for all your hard work, and I know that you're going to continue to do great things. So. And Ms. Willis, I thought, as I read through that, one of the things that really stuck out to me was how innovative you are. The virtual field trips, bringing geography into music. Can you do that? Is that legal? But also, like, I read about your classroom management and how you keep the students engaged, so they're learning, and you keep order in your classroom, which allows them to learn and to feel like they're making a difference. So, look, teaching is not easy. We know that, and we really appreciate teachers like yourself who make such a big difference in the classroom. So thank you for what you do.
All right, congratulations to all of our wonderful teachers, students, and family members from Metzler Elementary. Next, we have Principal Kimmy Williams from Hildebrandt Intermediate, who's here to introduce her outstanding students and distinguished teacher. Ms. Williams.
I'm a little short, so. Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, President Ellis and members of our school board and our Klein family. I am honored to lead as the principal of Hildebrandt Intermediate, and this evening, please allow me to introduce you to two outstanding students and one phenomenal educator from our school who exemplify Hildebrandt Intermediate's high-quality teaching and learning. Tonight, we recognize Tim Johnsack and Grace Scott as our outstanding 8th grade students and Stacy Ingram as our remarkable CTE educator. Tim, Grace, and Miss Ingram, please join me up front. And Klein family, please turn your attention to the large screens to watch a video recognizing our three phenomenal Hildebrandt Intermediate family members.
Hi, I'm Kimmy Williams, and I am the proud principal here at Hildebrandt Intermediate. I am very excited to talk to you today about Miss Stacy Ingram. She is one of our CTE teachers. She is also an NJHS sponsor, and we are so blessed to have her here to work with our students. She puts forth so many different efforts in order to reach our kids and help them find their pathway to success. Congratulations to you, Miss Ingram, and thank you so much for all you do for all of the students here at Hildebrandt.
Hi, I'm Stacy Sepulvedo, and I'm here to talk about Tim. Tim is a leader both in the classroom and in extracurriculars. I've taught him for 2 years in CTE classes in STEM and fundamentals of computer science, and he has stuck out in both of those classes for his leadership, his ability to work ahead, to help others. He has taken care of things, reminded other students, encouraged them. I'm just so proud of him. Congratulations, Tim.
Tim is an amazing student here at Hildebrandt. He shows so many of our core values, the heart of a Mustang, and one that really sticks out for me with him is problem solver. Congratulations, Tim, and thank you for all you do for all the students at Hildebrandt.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Olson, and I'm here to talk today about Grace. Grace has been excelling in growth throughout the year. She's been mastering every test that I give her, which is attributed to the fact that she gives her all in class. She is kind to every single classmate she encounters with having a positive can-do attitude. I am so impressed with her not only in academics, but in her emotional intelligence. Grace, you deserve everything in the world, and I am so proud to be your teacher.
Grace is an amazing student that shows the core values of the heart of a Mustang, and one that really sticks out for me is determination. Congratulations, Grace. We are so proud of you.
Tim, Grace, and Miss Ingram, each of you has gone above and beyond, consistently giving your time, energy, and heart to our school. We are so fortunate to have you as role models for both of our staff and students. Tonight, to help us honor Tim, we have his mom, Julie, and dad, Tom. Please stand to be recognized. To help us honor Grace, we have her mom, Tanisha, and dad, Darwin, and her family. Please stand to be recognized. On behalf of Miss Ingram, we have her husband, Grant. Please also stand to be recognized. Tonight, Klein ISD trustee, Miss Denise Morrison, will now present you with your certificates of this special recognition. Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, please join them for a picture.
Just like Trustee Todd, I have a cheat sheet. What they didn't say is that you're in Boy Scouts, you do cross country, you do club soccer, you're a master at robotics, and you're seen as a leader among your peers. That's quite a list of things to do, all in 5 days a week. I'm pretty busy, but I'm not that busy. So, I want to congratulate you on tonight. There you go. As an outstanding student at Hildebrandt. Congratulations.
Oh,
All right, Grace. You went in 1 year from just meeting expectations to mastery, as the video said. Congratulations on doing such a thing. It takes a lot of work to do that. Also, you're on the swim team. I'm all about swimming. And you're also seen as a role model. And as the video showed, is that the violin you play? Congratulations on that. That is a very, very fine instrument. Congratulations. And Miss Ingram? Wow. You do principles of marketing and finance for your students. And you run the National Junior Art Society for this group as well. And we appreciate all your efforts on top of teaching. So thank you.
Okay, congratulations to those outstanding students and teachers, and of course their families who are here and all the support you give them. Dr. McGowan, we're ready to move forward.
Our next recognition is a statewide recognition for two exceptional members of the Klein family. Our Chief of Operations, Mr. August Wunderlich, has this next recognition.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan. Good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, and Klein family. Tonight, I'm honored to recognize the TASBO Public Education Ambassador Award and RISE Award recipients. The Texas Association of School Business Officials, TASBO for short, Board of Directors has recognized Kevin Weehott, Director of Maintenance, as the 2025 Public Education Ambassador Award recipient, and Adam Stearns, Director of Purchasing, as a TASBO RISE Award recipient. Kevin and Adam, please join me up front so we may honor you for these achievements. TASBO honors individuals who exemplify commitment and leadership in supporting public education, while the RISE Award highlights emerging leaders who are making a significant impact in school business. These awards aim to celebrate individuals who are shaping the future of the school business community through innovation, dedication, and service. Congratulations to Kevin Weehott and Adam Stearns on this well-deserved recognition. Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, can you please join us up front to congratulate and get a photo? Thank you.
Okay, I think now it's time to recognize some fine arts. Dr. McGowan?
Yes, thank you, President Ellis. March is Arts in Our Schools Month, but honestly, every month in Klein ISD is Arts in Our Schools, because quite frankly, we're the best and we're the envy of everyone when it comes to our tradition of excellence in fine arts, and I mean that with all my heart.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
We should. We should have a bumper sticker and yard signs and all the things for the arts in Klein ISD. To lead these recognitions this evening, please join me in welcoming Klein ISD Director of Fine Arts, Mr. Frank Shooter, who's here to recognize our exceptional students and teachers.
Well, good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, and Klein family. Tonight, I am privileged to celebrate the Klein ISD Texas All-State musicians who have achieved this esteemed state-level recognition for their outstanding musical talent. The Texas Music Educators Association, TMEA, all-state audition process is one of the state's most prestigious and challenging opportunities for high school musicians. This rigorous multi-month competition requires students to audition on exceptionally challenging musical pieces and compete against their peers statewide for a coveted spot in an all-state band, choir, or orchestra. Achieving placement in an all-state ensemble signifies musical excellence at the highest level in Texas and is a testament to the students' hard work and commitment. This year, Klein ISD proudly celebrates the achievements of our 14 all-state musicians. These students have demonstrated unparalleled dedication and perseverance, earning their place among the most elite young musicians in Texas. If you are a campus administrator or a music teacher here for these outstanding students tonight, please join me up front to celebrate them.
Yeah.
Students, as I call your name, please come to the front so we may honor you, and remain up front so we may take a group photo after the last name is recognized. Audience members, this is the hard part. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. We'll start with Klein High. Jade Brightstein, choir. Lorenzo Castro, orchestra for the 4th consecutive year. Reagan Rucker, choir for the 2nd consecutive year. And their teachers are Sean Stoltz and Rebecca Barger from Klein Choir, and Jennifer Hillen and Mindy Florian from Klein Orchestra. From Klein Oak, Nicholas Hartman, band, 2nd consecutive year. Rajarshi Ghosh, orchestra, 2nd consecutive year. Joshua Nonhoff, band, 3rd consecutive year. And Patrick Umanzor, band, 4th consecutive year. Their teachers are Kelsey Blansett, Jesus Burciaga, and David McGrath from Klein Oak Band, and Tanner Ledford and Elizabeth Ross from Klein Oak Orchestra. From Klein Collins, Emiliano Casillas, orchestra, and Niall Harvey, band. Their teachers are Carlos Lara and Carrie Thornton from Collins Orchestra, and Alexa Thibodeau and Jessica Calvert from Collins Band. From Klein Kane, Sienna Fitzgerald, choir. Harley Genus, orchestra, 2nd consecutive year. Eden Jones, choir. Samuel Laredo, choir. Jonathan Joe, orchestra. And their teachers are Austin Dean and Michelle Hank from Kane Choir, and Sundas Mohitrung and Hansen Young from Kane Orchestra. Now, it's time. Give them all a round of applause. Congratulations to our TMEA All-State musicians and your instructors, along with the devoted parents who have supported you through your achievements. If you are here on behalf of one of these musicians, please stand so that we may honor you. All right, I see Dr. McGowan and President Ellis are already here, so I think a picture is in order.
You got to go to the front.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shooter. I think it's impressive that we had so many people being honored. It's hard to fit in the picture, so that's a good problem to have. So wonderful. Our next fine arts recognition is for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo School Art Contest. So Mr. Shooter, I think this is back to you.
Yes, sir. And I am honored to recognize 3 Klein ISD students who excelled in the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo School Art Contest Special Needs category. Klein ISD took home Best of Show in all 3 divisions, elementary, middle school, and high school. Students, when I call your name, please join your teacher and your campus administrator up front to be recognized. Winner of the elementary division is Blackshear Elementary second grader Alton Harris, with the support of his teacher, Jody Torito. We're gonna go all the way in the middle. That's my new friend, Alton. Ms. Torito shares that Alton enjoys creativity and expressing his imagination in art class. Ulrich Intermediate 7th grader Hayden Clark, with the support of his art teacher, Meredith Wagner, was the winner of the middle school division. Ms. Wagner says that Hayden has a deep passion for art and an insatiable curiosity for creativity. And finally, congratulations to 12th grader Cabin Donald from Klein Collins High School, with the support of his art teacher, Miss Blair Villanueva. Cabin won the high school division, and Miss Villanueva shares that Cabin's confidence has grown over the last 3 years. He has entered multiple art contests and has found significant success, and this has happened because of Cabin's hard work and creativity. Congratulations to these 3 talented artists for their Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Artwork Awards. We want to thank each of their wonderful teachers for their guidance and any parents that are here in support of them. So parents or family members, please stand so we may give you a round of applause as well. All right, it's picture time again.
That is impressive. I can only do stick figures, so I think you are all amazing. Dr. McGowan, what do we have next?
Just want to also say a special word of congratulations to all of the directors of our students who made All-State. Not only do our students work incredibly hard, and not only are they amazingly talented, but you all are some of the most inspirational educators in our entire Klein family. So can we give these folks another round of applause for how hard they work for our kids every day? Now we are going to turn our attention to one of our other nationally recognized programs in Klein ISD, our Career and Technical Education Program. Klein ISD's Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Anthony Andelicato, is here for the first recognition for this outstanding program in Klein ISD.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, and Klein family. Tonight, I'm honored to announce that Klein ISD has been honored with the District of Distinction Award from the Career and Technical Association of Texas, also known as CTAP, placing the district among the top 3% of all career and tech education programs statewide. Klein ISD CTE has earned this recognition by meeting rigorous criteria, including innovative programming, strong college and career readiness, high student participation and success, inclusive access, exceptional student outcomes, and dedicated teacher support. With over 26,000 students enrolled in 58 programs and over 250 CTE courses, the district provides hands-on learning, industry certifications, college credits, and workforce training. We have more than 270 CTE educators prepare students for advanced credentials, including AP, IB, and dual credit opportunities. Tonight, we want to congratulate our Career and Tech Department. Honorees, as I call your name, please come to the front and remain up front as we recognize your collective achievement. Audience, as stated, please hold your applause until all names have been called. We'll start with our director, Deborah Bronner-Westerdown, and our 3 program coordinators, Joe Malchar, Pete Preley, and Amanda Simmons. Please come up. We know that behind every honoree, there are people who have supported and encouraged them along the way. If you are a guest of one of our honorees today, please stand and allow us to recognize you as well. All right, and how about a round of applause for our CT department? So President Ellis and Dr. McGowan, please join us for a photo, and congratulations again to Klein CTE.
Thank you. We really do appreciate all of the great work in our CTE courses here in the district, and it's wonderful to recognize all of that. Dr. McGowan.
Yes, top 3% in the state. Want to make sure you all heard that. We are very blessed to have these wonderful programs for our students led by such outstanding educators. Our next recognition is an exciting result of our top-notch CTE programs in our schools. Klein ISD's director of our CTE programs, Ms. Deborah Bronner-Westerdown, is here to introduce a special recognition for the program at Klein Cain High School.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, President Ellis, members of our school board, and Klein family. Tonight, we are recognizing the CTE Video Game Programming and Design Pathway students at Klein Cain High School, who created Kleinopoly, a Monopoly-inspired board game celebrating our Klein community's history. Led by instructor and Klein Cain Teacher of the Year, Mr. DJ Guillory, students collaborated with Mr. Steve Baird of the Klein Historical Foundation to incorporate local landmarks, historical figures, and themed game elements. The project expanded through interdisciplinary teamwork, with architectural design students creating 3D printed game pieces and animation students creating the artwork. The innovative game combines entertainment with education, showcasing the talent and dedication of Klein's CTE students and educators. We want to recognize the incredible students and educators who brought Kleinopoly to life. First, can teachers Mr. Guillory, Miss Alexander, and Ms. Thompson, and Principal Marty come forward so that we may thank and recognize you. We'd also like all of our students from the CTE pathways that collaborated on this game design to join us up front. Yes. Woo! Students. Come on. We are so proud of this comprehensive, innovative team of excellence for designing and producing a game board celebrating our Klein community's history. Parents or guests who are here to support your students, please stand and be recognized. And let's have one more round of applause for this outstanding team. Honorees, Will you please remain up front while President Ellis and Dr. McGowan join us for a group photo to commemorate this special achievement?
Never done, Rod.
Make them join the team.
Excellent. Thank you. I always need to see your excitement and the collaboration of all those people that worked together to produce that game. Pretty neat. Dr. McGowan.
Yes, I want to thank all of our outstanding students for your passion for our Klein, Texas community. I've had the joy of actually playing Kleinopoly with these wonderful young men and women, and we had a blast. So want to make sure you all know we're updating our Klein ISD website right now. So if you want to order your version of Kleinopoly so you can play it at home with your family and friends, we'll have instructions there to make sure that you can do that. But please support these wonderful young people. The money they're earning from the game goes for student scholarships. So it's just all around a wonderful thing for Klein, Texas.
Did you win the game?
Well, it was close, and I ultimately felt like the children should win, so we went with that, right, Miss Marty? We were a team. So, continuing on with our celebration of our career and technical education program, one of our also tremendous bright spots in Klein ISD. It's our joy tonight to recognize our Klein ISD FFA program, who continues to make amazing things happen in the lives of our young people and bring tremendous pride to our school district. Ms. Stacy Kinsfather, our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, is here to recognize the record-breaking results of this year's annual show.
Well, good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, and Klein family. Tonight, Klein ISD's Career and Technical Education, CTE department, is proud to celebrate the incredible success of the 56th annual FFA Livestock and Project Show. This year, 585 talented agri-science students and FFA exhibitors representing all 5 high schools proudly showcased 1,150 projects, including livestock, horticulture, floral, photography, agriculture mechanics, and agri-science research. This year's auction shattered 12 sale records, and I am proud to report that the 2025 auction and total sales reached an all-time high of $735,784. Please help me in recognizing Deborah Bronner-Westerdown, Director of CTE, Amanda Simmons, CTE Coordinator, and Noelle Tipton, our Show Association President. Please join me up front to be celebrated and to assist in celebrating our teachers. Thank you for your outstanding leadership in organizing this year's FFA Livestock and Project Show and coordinating the 5 high school booster clubs to support the event. We are also honored to have our exceptional CTE agri-science teachers and administrators from all 5 high school campuses with us tonight. Principals, please come forward to help present the certificates. Teachers, as I call your name, please join us and remain for a group photo. And audience, please hold your applause until all names have been called. Many of our honorees this evening are unable to join us due to their commitments with the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Representing Klein Kane High School, we have Tristan Bertrand, Clayton Bill. Oh, Klein High. What did I say? Representing Klein High School, the Klein High, we have Tristan Bertrand, Clayton Bill, Mike Brummond, Rebecca Brummond, and Emery Spence. Representing Klein Forest High School, we have Valerie Hirsch, John Lopez, Tyler Peterson, Sharon Robertson, Clint Smith, and Heather Sostek. And James White.
Awesome.
Representing Klein Oak High School, we have John Garcia, Garrett Richardson, Jennifer Roos, James Strickler, Hannah Wunderlich. Representing Klein Collins High School, we have Nicole Brown, Anna Harper, Mary Powell, Heather Rahm, Danny Reeves, Marty Resendez. And finally, representing Klein Kane High School, we have Kristen Bailey, Ryan Frank, Brooklyn Morrow, Nathan Newsom, and Jamie Filan. Congratulations to all our distinguished FFA leaders. Our Klein family is very proud of all that you do for our students. We also want to express our gratitude to our Klein ISD Board of Trustees and Dr. McGowan for your continued support and investment in our FFA program in Klein ISD, as well as all the buyers who contributed to the record-breaking results. And at this time, we'll pose for a photo.
That is incredible, and we just want to thank you again for all the extra time you spend to help our students in such an amazing area. So that's a strength for the district, and it's because of you.
Absolutely. I picked up my pig today, so thank you all very much. McGowan family, thanks you. Y'all are the best. We love our FFA kids. We love this program, and I'll just encourage anyone, if you've never been to the auction, you need to come on out and see these kids. They will look you in the eye, shake your hand, to make you proud to be in this country and to make you so proud to be in the Klein, Texas community. They're absolutely wonderful. So thanks again for all the hard work and another successful show.
Wonderful, and thank you, Ms. Kinsfather, for that recognition. We're at the point in the meeting where we will take a brief intermission, and before we do that, we like to recognize our scouts who attend our board meetings. I know we have some present from Troop 786. If you could stand and introduce yourself with those items on the slide there.
My name's Miran Maknogia. I'm from Troop 786. I go to Hophius Intermediate, and the badge I'm here for is Communication and Citizenship.
My name is Akif Momin. I'm in Troop 786. I go to Hophius Intermediate, and I'm working on my communications.
My name is Arian Ali. I am from Troop 786. I go to Hophius Intermediate, and I'm trying to get community and communication.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Wonderful. And during the intermission, if you could visit this Christine Jackson here on my right, and she will help you with the certificate of attendance. We'll now take an intermission to allow us to meet our honored guests and community members. The time is now 8:11 p.m., and we are in intermission. Okay. May I have your attention, please? The time is now 8:23 p.m., and we are ready to reconvene this meeting of the Klein ISD Board of Trustees. We will begin with item 9, the consideration and request for approval of proposed modifications to local board policies DGBA, FNG, GF, and GKC. May I have a motion?
I so move.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to at least get on the record of what the changes are real quickly. For DGBA, which is our Personnel Management Relations, Employee Complaints and Grievances, the guiding principles section on informal process have been removed. General provisions, filing an employee can initiate the formal process, but is still encouraged to pursue the informal resolution. Consolidating complaints. The cause stating, if a complaint can be heard by 2 or more departments, the associate superintendent shall jointly decide the proper department has been removed. Level 1 complaint forms previously required to be filed within 10 days now must be filed within 15 business days. Terminology update throughout the policy, associate superintendent of human resources has been replaced with chief of human resources. On FNG local, student rights and responsibilities, the student and parent complaints and grievances. Notice to students and parents. The district shall inform students and parents of this policy through appropriate district publications with the addition of at the beginning of each school year and remain available on the district website. Guiding principles, the section on informal process has been removed. General provisions, a student or parent can initiate the formal process, but is still encouraged to pursue the informal resolution. The cause stating if a complaint can be heard by 2 or more departments, the associate superintendent shall jointly decide the proper department has been removed. Level 1 complaints, previously required to be filed within 10 days, now must be filed within 15 business days. Terminology. Throughout the policy, superintendent has now been replaced with chief of schools. Summary of changes to policy GF, public complaints. Guiding principles, the section on informal process has been removed. General provisions, filing, an individual can initiate the formal process but is still encouraged to pursue informal resolution. Consolidating complaints, the cause stating if a complaint can be heard by 2 or more departments, the associate superintendent shall jointly decide the proper department has been removed. Level 1 complaints, previously required to be filed within 10 days, now must be filed within 15 business days. Terminology updates throughout the policy, superintendent has now been replaced with chief of schools. And finally, on the GKC local, community relations and visitors. The first paragraph now reads, and there's some in front of it, and present a valid photo ID to the door video phone to gain entry to the building. The same ID will also be presented to the front desk and scanned through the security system. All news, media, and photographers shall first contact the district communications department prior to reporting any district or facility. Procedures, item 1, principal's office has now been replaced with front office. Item 2 was modified to office staff shall verify by picture identification the identity of each visitor. In addition, the principal of their designee must adhere to the security measures in place to prevent sex offenders from accessing the campus. Item 3 was modified with office staff shall check the student information system database and cumulative folder to ensure that contact with the student is permitted. District employees shall wear a name tag identifying them as a district employee when visiting a school campus was updated to. District employees must wear a district-supplied badge that identifies them as a district employee when visiting a district facility or school. And finally, registered sex offenders on school campus designee was added and numbering sequence on requirements were added.
Wonderful. Any other discussion?
Just a point of clarification, President Ellis, on policy GF, local superintendent was replaced in some places with chief of schools, but not throughout the entire policy.
That's correct. Wonderful. Any other discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next item is 10 on the agenda, consideration and request for approval of the hearing officer recommendation regarding employee level 3 DGBA complaint Roundtree. May I have a motion?
I move that the board adopt the hearing officer's recommendation in the level 3 DGBA complaint of Ms. Roundtree.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next is item 11 on the agenda, consideration and request for approval of the contractor for the video surveillance and network cabling Phase 2 project. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We're now on item 12, consideration and request for approval of the contractor for the Schindewolf Intermediate Gym Addition project. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next is item 13, consideration and request for approval of the contractor for the 2025 flooring replacement project. May I have a motion?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next is item 14, which has sub-items A and B. We will begin with sub-item A, consideration and request for adoption of a resolution approving contingent fee legal services contract, including findings needed for submission of contingent fee legal services agreement and request for expedited review by the Texas Attorney General. May I have a motion?
I move that the Board of Trustees adopt a resolution approving the contingent fee legal services contract that include the findings required by the Texas Government Code 2254, Subchapter C, and that are needed for submission for contingent fee legal services agreement and a request to Texas Attorney General for expedited review.
May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next is sub-item B, the consideration and request for adoption of contingent fee legal services agreement with Thompson and Horton LLP, Island and Bonin PC, and O'Hanlon, Demarath, and Castillo PC. May I have a motion?
I move that the Board of Trustees adopt and approve entering into a contingent fee legal services agreement with Thompson and Horton LLP, Eli Bonin PC, and O'Hannon, Demarath, and Castillo PC to represent the district in youth social media usage related litigation.
Good. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Now for the consent agenda. Are there any items that you wish to remove from the consent agenda? Mr. James?
None.
Ms. Morrison?
None.
None.
None. None.
None.
And I have none. All those in favor? Any opposed? The consent agenda passes by consensus. Moving on to calendar review, Klein ISD students and staff are off for spring break next week. Exciting. And the next regular board meeting will be on Monday, April 14th. So we'll move on to comments. Let's start over here, Mr. James, with you.
Yeah, always a great celebration, especially when we're talking about, when we're talking about the AAA's music, we're just, head and shoulders above everybody else, really. And I had the opportunity to, let me back up. This week, you had girls in STEM, you had job fairs, there were so many offerings that Klein ISD offered up particularly this week, but throughout the year that we should really be proud about that we're champions. So we're really happy about that. On the flip side, really caught us off guard about Congressman Turner. Good friend, good role model. Certainly, I think you said it best, Dr. McGowan, when you referenced what he said when he came here, was that he did not come for himself. He came for us and the 54,000 students that we serve. So hats off to him, and we'll be celebrating his life and legacy of service this week. So again, we thank you.
Yeah, well said. Ms. Morrison.
Well, the celebrations were great today. I will tell you, I did participate in the FFA auction, and I have received 24 thank you notes. I think I'm going to line them up and take a picture. Also, I was able to attend 3 of the top 10 ceremonies, and that was a lot of fun in the last few weeks. So it's been busy.
Excellent. Mr. Qualls.
So I'd like to kind of orate, I guess, on just some, what I'm calling, amazing collaborations that I've just kind of seen over the last couple weeks. We had theater season with all the productions at the high schools, and, the thing that stuck out to me after seeing all of these are basically all of the different student groups that all come together for that one performance. You have, the orchestras, the shop classes, the art classes, the set decorators, cosmetology's involved, costumes. It's an amazing collaboration to put on these performances. And then you look at the FFA program and the auction that I was fortunate to be at. You've got everything from floral design, which just knocks it out of the park. You've got the ag mechanics students that are building smoke pits and trailers. That I honestly saw a trailer at the show that I thought was from a trailer shop that was used to transport things to the auction, but that was actually the students' project, which was just incredible. It's unbelievable, just the amount of collaboration that goes into that, and also to all of the staff and administration that puts on all of these. Again, it's just top notch. It's just number one in every aspect. And then jumping into CTE. Today, in fact, I had the awesome time with Trustee Peters. We attended a phlebotomy club stick event, they call it, where we basically helping these students. Basically, they get certified and drawing blood and different certifications for that program. They could be a nurse as they after they come out and graduate, if they truly wanted to. And while I'm sitting there, getting my blood drawn, I'm not looking at it, of course, because I don't like that. But you're looking around in the classroom space that they have, and again, it's set up like a pharmacy. And I started asking questions. All the different parts of the pharmacy have been built by all of these different clubs. And then you hear like the Kleinopoly that was presented tonight, the animation students, the art students, all of the different collaborations that go into these things, and you just have to sit back and just be like, this is amazing, like what is happening? And so, sorry it's long-winded, but there's just so much that's going on that I just have to brag about. So it's really cool. Thank you.
That's excellent. From phlebotomy to FFA.
Amazing.
That's awesome. Well done. Ms. Arlano.
I'm always amazed at what Klein offers kids. And all the directions, no matter what they like, we can find something for them to give them that purpose. And I think that is just so important. With that being said, the Austin visit was absolutely amazing. To be able to talk to people, to have a conversation about things that are so important to kids and our community as well as the state. But I want to stop a minute and thank Jenny. I don't know where she gets the time or the energy, but there was nothing like the feeling of walking down the hall and the Commissioner of Education stops us to thank her for her input that he had used in writing a bill. Was it not a bill? And this bill, this House Bill 4125, was about her and a collaboration of her team. And we take an awful lot for granted. I don't know where she's, I don't know how she sleeps because she's 24/7. She's two superintendents in one. And going there and being stopped by the commissioner was really cool of all the things that we did. And I want to personally, and I'm sure the board will agree with me, to thank her for all that she does for kids. And I love Kleinopoly, and I can't wait to go play it. And I've already ordered one.
Well said. Ms. Peters.
I have to say that the CTE class today did a great job on the arm sticks. You couldn't even feel it. So you guys
she did
all,
both arms as well.
I did both arms, yes.
Yeah, amazing.
And I do like to watch. I'm weird. So go. They are doing it tomorrow and Friday afternoon still, and I know that each student has to have 30 draws. So they need your volunteers. Also, I want to say again, contact your reps, not just your reps, but everyone on the education committees. They're all making decisions for our whole state and all of the kids in our state. The PROTECT Act, I'm super proud of that. I think it's huge. I am very much about safety and keeping these kids safe and giving them the best chance they have, and safety is number one for that. I think it's awesome that you guys thought of it, that you worked together, and that you designed a bill that is actually being put forth. That is something to be very, very proud of. Thank you so much. And CTE top 3%, that's just incredible. I mean, that's all that you need to say about that, top 3% in the state.
Awesome. Excellent. Mr. Todd.
When you go towards the end, you get to just say, I agree. I agree very much. Yeah, very good. I do have a couple things. It strikes me that most of the time when you do a survey, you can get a lot of disgruntled people really airing their grievances out in the survey, especially when it's a anonymous survey. But to have 9 out of 10 satisfied employees, I think is pretty amazing. And I thank HR team and for what they're doing, and it doesn't come by accident. It's leadership throughout the district, and so I'm thankful for that. I do love the FFA. One of the things I love the most about the FFA show here, it's a terminal show for those of you that don't know that, which means every animal that is shown, that's it. They have to raise a different animal if they want to take them to the livestock show and rodeo.
Chris, you're getting into all the details.
Yeah, well, when you go hang out in the back there, which is what I was actually getting to, when you go in the back and just hang out with the students, what you realize is, the next generation is very special. Yeah. It can be easy to get tied up in, just so many people bloviating about all the things that are bad in our world, and certainly there are things, but when you go back and you hang out with kids and you see how mature they are and how they look you in the eye and how, these kids are getting up at the crack of creation to feed their animals and to care for them and do all these things, the leadership that goes into that is pretty amazing, and it gives me great hope for tomorrow and for the future. And I'm thankful for all the teachers in every classroom that make that happen. And that trailer, by the way, was built by Klein Oak. They talk about the Klein High School. Well, let's face it, like Oak really probably is the high school, but we can talk about that later.
I think it's the Klein Oak. It's incredible.
Anyway, James Strickler, the FFA teacher up there, is like a guru with a welder, and teaching those kids to do that. That trailer was amazing. And last but not least, I just really want to thank Representative Harless. There are a lot of people that say they care about things. There are a lot of people that say, oh yeah, we support you. But time and time again, Sam Harless has proven to be a man of honor and of dignity, and a man who genuinely cares about doing the right thing, not always the easy thing, but the right thing. And I'm super thankful for him and the way he represents us.
Excellent. Thank you. Just want to echo gratitude, especially Mr. James and Ms. Arlano and Ms. Peters for representing the board in Austin. That was important. And to Representative Harless, we really do appreciate it. The PROTECT Act is so important. I guess I should start saying 4125, yes. House Bill 4125. As it just makes no sense that if the police are investigating someone who has contact with kids, that the school can't be informed to protect those kids. We just need to be able to know that to keep school safety first. And I just want to say, echo what Kathy said. We are blessed in this district to be led by Dr. McGowan, and I feel like we're constantly living in a State Farm's commercial of we're in good hands. And part of that is no small thing to the people on the side, everyone on her staff. We appreciate you and see you and thank you for all of the tireless work you do to keep this district great. And you don't get thanks often enough, and we do appreciate you. Dr. McGowan.
Great night celebrating our wonderful kids and the programs and the people that make Klein ISD such a special place to call home. It's hard to believe there are 53 days left in the school year. I did not come up with that number, but somebody else on my team was counting, and they let me know. 53 days. And I do think about all the seniors that we've been celebrating in our honor graduate ceremonies, and just how that time for those families with the people that they love the most in the world is quickly drawing to an end, that chapter. And it's just a joy to get to be part of those special moments with them and to celebrate their continued success. I just, again, want to say thank you to this board for your faithful leadership showing up in our schools and our classrooms and our community to show with your actions that you care about our kids, that you care about the opportunities that we provide for them, and that you care about our educators and the hardworking staff, from our cafeteria crew to the classroom teacher to our custodians. It takes everybody to make what's so special about Klein ISD a reality every day, and then to have partners like Representative Harless who are willing to listen, to help create a solution, and to ultimately put forward House Bill 4125, which, again, I'll just encourage everyone, please lift your voices so that this becomes more than just a piece of legislation, but ultimately becomes law. Protecting our kids is not something that can wait and deserves our full attention today and every day. So I say thanks to the wonderful locally elected leaders we have in our Klein, Texas community, and all that you sacrifice and all that you do is very appreciated by all of us.
Wonderful. And I guess point of order, I think it's probably not state, it's probably all state that says we're in good hands. So make sure we don't open ourselves up to liability. One of those insurance companies. All right. With that clarified, if there are no objections, it is now